The Giro d'Italia Donne carries huge prestige for the female peloton. For many, many years, it's been one of what we would class as a grand tour for the female peloton to race in. And so it's always been for riders a huge honour to race. It's always carried a huge prominence within the calendar where many riders want to really peak and come into this race with fantastic form. And with it being the longest stage race on the calendar as well at 10 days, there's no other race that comes close to what the Giro has to offer.
Because for many years it's been the only Grand Tour that we've had. Obviously that's changing now with the introduction of the Tour de France Femme this year, but it's just been that one big Grand Tour that we've had in the season, and one where everybody has wanted to win, where the Maglia Rosa, everyone knows what it means to win the Maglia Rosa as well. And yeah, I've had the privilege of wearing it before, so I know what that feels like. So I just think it's that one point in the season that everyone's really looking forward to and wants to be in the best form for. I'm racing both of them. I'm racing the Giro and the Tour, and I think I've heard of quite a lot of riders that are going to do the same. So I think for me, it's just one race at a time. I'm preparing really well now and with an eye to the Giro, and then I hope to perform well in the Giro. And then after that, it will probably be more a case of not overdoing it, letting yourself actually recover and absorb all the work, and then go to the Tour de France.
Annemiek van Vleuten, she's been very vocal in saying that she wants to win the overall general classification in the Giro, but also in the Tour de France Femme avec Zwift. Also, Marianne Vos, who's won the most stages at the Giro, 30 stage victories. So she also wants to take on that double.
Marianne Vos takes the stage, and that is why we call her the greatest of all time.
For those riders, it's going to be demanding. It's not going to come easy, but I think it's the preparation and work beforehand that they've done that they'll be successful.
I think the Giro this year is the most exciting route that we've had in a number of years. I think previous years, maybe there's been one GC day early or late, and then that's it. Whereas I think the overall course of the Giro this year is really exciting and really well done. We sort of start in Sardinia with prologue firstly, and then a couple of probably more sprint stages, but you never know with the wind there before we get across to the mainland. Looks to be quite a tough course around that sort of Imola, Rimini area, where I don't think the Giro will be won, but certainly you can lose seconds there. And then for me, the overall GC battle will really start sort of stage 6. We have around Bergamo, finishing on the Il Lombardia finish. So that'll certainly be a tough one where there might be some seconds. But the real GC is going to start with stage 7, and then we have the mountaintop finish up Passo Maniva. And then stage 8 and 9, we sort of move into the Garda Trento area, and it's really climbing heavy, quite a lot of technical descents. So I think if you're not already tired by that point, they've thrown in the hardest stages right at the finish to really split the peloton apart. So I think, a lot of it's going to be how well you can manage yourself in the first stages and turn up in the best shape possible for those last few stages. And then, last stage looks like a nice pan flat one for the sprinters. At the moment, I'd really like to run a good GC placing. That's sort of my goal.
Annemiek van Vleuten comes through to take her second career victory here in Liège-Bastogne-Liège.
For sure, Annemiek van Vleuten, you can't go past her, and she'd have to be the top pick. Elisa Longo Borghini, Marta Cavalli, I think the Italian riders will turn up in really great shape and always super motivated for the Giro. So Team SD Works, for sure. I haven't heard if Demi Vollering's racing, but they always turn up with a really strong team and multiple riders that can win and force the race. So I think, there's going to be many riders that can really have a top result there.
I always think a race that has a variation in parcours, something for every type of rider, makes it exciting for a viewer, for a fan to watch, whether that be roadside, whether that be following the coverage with intent on the live coverage. And I think when you see the stages, when you take a look at how long the stages are, and then previous years we've seen stages of upwards of 160 kilometres at the Giro d'Italia Donne. This year, with the longest stage being 126 kilometres, I think it keeps it close. I think it keeps that fight for the general classification or for stage victories really close and exciting. And I think in previous years we've seen huge winning margins, and I think this year, with it being close, that will keep it exciting. The fact that anything can happen in the Giro d'Italia Donne, I think that will keep the viewers really engaged.